sent to me by friends and mine.
How was the Baldwin Pilsen? Did you fly any of those?
Yeah.
How they do?
They flew in the FEC. This is young birds. This one. This is old birds. And my breeders are in the back.
Fly celibate.
I fly celibate. Well, it's a mixture of something I've come down to over the years. But it's mostly celibate. Nice and clean that way.
Yeah.
This is the breeder's loft right here.
You've really expanded your lofts on Facebook.
Yeah,
You take advantage of every square inch down there.
I need more.
You need more, yeah.
I'm actually gonna close my loft like this
Yeah,
because right now it's open,
yeah,
So I'm gonna close the front and put a aviary in the
yeah.
front.
Yeah, you need to control the
wind.
wind and the temperature. Temperature, the warmer it is, I think the better they fly.
Yeah.
And at night, how far are you from the ocean?
About 5 miles.
So when that fog starts rolling in,
Oh yeah.
that's death, especially for young birds. It just takes the form and just.
Yep. They're
So
all
you have
like
to be able
this.
to close it up, keep it warm,
Okay.
keep the ventilation. They still have to have air, but not that cold, wet sea
Yeah.
air. That's terrible.
You get the same here?
Well, I'm only about a mile from the ocean.
Yeah.
That stuff starts rolling in, and God, after it's in for about an hour or so, you look at the birds. You think they all have coxswain and canker, and
Yeah.
but
That's
it's just
my
their
bird.
way of.
Yep.
And it just takes the form right out of them.
Okay.
The heat,
gotta
the heat
close
is
it.
the.
We gotta close it.
Gotta close it up. Gotta close it up. There's a lot of different ways of doing it, but
It's more fun when you see the birds under like aviary.
yeah. Of course, the more birds you have in there, the more ventilation they need. But like this whole loft only has 15 cocks. That's it. That's an old bird.
You only fly cocks?
No, I have hens over here.
Hens.
There's 21 hens over here.
The best ones.
This is the old birds. You keep your old birds here.
Yeah.
Do you fly old birds, right?
Yeah. I love flying old birds.
Yeah.
Much better than flying young birds.
We're gonna fly this year.
God, I hope so. You can get your guys going.
They said they will.
Damn,
Everybody said they
and-
will. I want to fly. I have some
I mean, it's
birds.
so much fun flying old birds compared to young birds.
Yep. How old can you fly the birds? How many years can they fly?
Well, it depends on how you beat them up. If you beat them up in young birds, you're taking a couple of 3 years off of them as flying old birds. If you take it easy in young birds and train them and fly them maybe 100, 200, 250 miles and then stop them and then start them up the next year in old birds, you can fly in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And they'll be competitive. But if you beat them up in young birds, they're done. Most of them are done after young birds.
Oh, is that right?
Sure.
If you fly them up to 450 miles, that's it, huh? So you're using young bird as a training for old birds.
That's what young birds are supposed to be, is
Yeah.
training. And then, the money came into it. And when the money came into it, why,
That's it.
then they're going to fly it. They're going to fly young birds and fly the hell out of them.
You use motivation.
Yeah, you can just fly them like Paulo said, celibate, up to
Celibate.
about Williams, 350 miles. Then after that, they need a little something to bring them home,
Motivation.
And everybody does something different. I mean, you have to know your birds and what triggers them.
You've been flying since the 70s, right, Dan?
I started flying in 1963.
63.
Flew as a kid, and my loft was like a chicken coop with a dirt floor, and I had very few birds, just gift birds. and I bought 3 fraternity bands from the Santa Barbara fraternity. Three bands, $1 each. And I banded those babies. I had one left come the fraternity. The fraternity was at Stockton, I think. I had one band left, and I entered it. Nobody, kids, they're not going to do anything. And I took 3rd place, took the money. But they didn't want to give me the money because I was too young. They sold me the bands.
Really?
But when I won the money, they said, "Oh, you're too young to get the money."
What? Yeah. Who got you into flying birds?
A lot of my friends
Yeah.
started. One guy started, and then another guy, and then we caught on. By the time we got to high school, I don't know, there was about 6 or 7 of us going to Carpinteria High School here that flew pigeons, but none of us had a driver's license or anything.
Really?
And then one guy got a driver's license, and that poor son of a bitch. That's Bob Wheatley.
Oh yeah, that's
He was
Bob.
the first one to get a driver's license. There used to be 35 members in the Santa Barbara Club.
And
And we had 2 clubs in Santa Barbara.
Uh-huh.
And now there's 3. And as soon as we die, I don't know what Javier's going to do.
Javier's been with you guys all this time, or he's new?
Well, the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's had pigeons, I guess, for a while. But he just started flying. No, a couple of years ago. He's done real well.
He's done real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very dedicated. He pays attention. He does what he has to do. A hard worker.
Yeah.
It's happy to see him have some success that way.
That's how this guy had success.
This guy's
He's
the way.
dedicated.
it's luck.
Well, yeah, it's luck. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Better to be lucky than good. Back then, they were bringing back the eggs in their pockets.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You could bring back eggs. They didn't have customs or anything like that.
Okay.
So they would go to Europe and get the eggs
Okay.
and bring them back. They'd get the eggs for almost nothing.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew a fellow that used to fly with us, Harry Van Wingerden, Dutch fellow. His family came from Holland in the middle 60s. And he came. His father had eggs on him in his pockets. He had eggs on him. His mother had eggs in her brassiere. I mean, he had like 14, 16 eggs. And of those, I think he said 12 of them hatched.
Wow.
Because he had a cousin here
Yeah.
that had just regular pigeons, common pigeons. So he told his cousin to put them together at a certain time. And when he got here, they switched eggs, put these Belgian or Holland Dutch eggs in, and they hatched. They did real well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he flew in Holland when he was a kid there, so he had an idea as to how to do it. But yeah, I thought that was fascinating because I heard about that and I says, how the hell is that going to work? He's going to bring eggs here, but how's he going to hatch them? But he had it all arranged.
Yeah. You got some birds from Belgium, don't you?
Yeah, but I had them shipped.
You have a ship?
Yeah.
That's your Van Loon and your Jansen,
Yeah.
Carboni.
Yeah.
Carbonis.
My Grizzle
Grizzles.
family. That Grizzle family hit again
Yeah.
in San Diego. $38,000 this year.
Wow.
This year?
Yeah, first and third.
What the hell? San Diego Royal
You
Cup?
have a sister, yeah. No, not the Royal Cup, the Holiday Classic.
Holiday Classic. This year?
Yeah,
Which is the Grizzle?
yeah.
White?
That's a sister to the mother that bred those.
Did you have that?
Yeah, I got it from them.
Yeah, it's a full sister. I'm selling. Do you know Mike Groh in the Compton Club?
Micro.
Yeah,
No.
I've got a bird back there that just sold to him because he bred the father to the mother.
To the mother.
Yeah, he bred the father.
He bred the father to the mother of that bird,
Yeah.
of the bird that won.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
he just bought a hen, a sister like yours.
no, that bird's doing well.
Yeah,
That
that's
bird, I'm crossing that bird to all of my birds.
cross it around, find it what it works best with.
Yeah.
Because those birds, this is the second time now since 2020 that they've hit that race. Second time.
The same pairing?
13,000 the first time
Yeah.
because it came with, I think, 13 birds on the drop that time. This time there's only 5 birds on the drop. I had 2 in the first drop. So they won 12,000 each, plus one average speed, so that's another 4,000. Plus the Calcutta, they won another 8,000.
Damn. Same pairing, which this is the Jansen Carboni Van Loon, right?
Right.
And then who's the cross to what?
Cross to a bird from Mike Grow, which is Gabby. Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Yeah. You got that from Mark. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the first time you
First
crossed
time.
those two?
First time.
Wow.
Yeah. That Grizzle family, every year it hits something.
Yeah.
But this year was exceptional.
That was your old line, Grizzle.
Yeah.
The Grizzle one.
The Grizzle one. Genetics are there. Whether these will breed, who knows until you breed them.
Exactly.
The genetic package is there.
It's
So
there.
whether it comes up and alive, who knows? The original pair I'm going to put together again this year. I haven't had them together because they're getting old. But
The original pair.
The original pair that bred all these Grizzles to begin with.
You still have
Like
them.
the mother and father to yours.
Yeah.
And the ones that I have, the ones that bred the winners this year,
Yeah.
those are all sister. I got a couple in here, and I'm going to put the original pair back together. She's a 2012 and he's a 2010.
Wow.
So I got to
They're
get something
still-
before
Yes.
I leave. Carboni, I talked to him. I says, do you have any more of this blood? Gone.
They're all gone.
Sold it to China. Sold the pair, the original pair he sold to China for, he didn't sell it. He traded that pair for an apartment building in Shanghai.
Whoa.
So I think you made out pretty good, buddy.
Do you inbred?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the inbred of those.
No, I don't.
there.
No, I don't have any inbreds of that family. That's why I'm going to put everything back together again.
Do you do like a daughter to the father? And
Yeah,
then-
yeah. I like cousins better than, not too close.
Just to get the blood.
Yeah.
What other family do you have there that's doing good?
Well, I have the birds from Vic Miller. I don't know if you know, I've heard of Vic Miller. Vic Miller was called Mr. Snowbird. He
Yeah,
won.
Snowbird. Okay.
He
Yeah.
won. I think he won 3 snowbird races
Uh-huh.
and placed many times in the snowbird. Made a lot of money.
Your main bloodline is Jansen and Van Loon
Yeah.
with Gabby and yeah.
Yeah, mostly a lot of Vic Miller stuff that I've had.
Vic Miller is what the bloodline is that?
Well,
Jansen.
there's Jansen blood in him. There's the Smith, Matisse in him. There's Jan Arden in him.
John Arden.
There's a lot of different bloodlines that he brought in and put together. But they're good pigeons. They're strong, tough pigeons.
And you cross those with your pigeon,
Yeah,
and they do good.
they do very good. I like that type of bird.
Okay.
When it gets really hard, when it gets down around 1,300 yards a minute,
Yeah. That's the bird. Do you have sprint pigeons?
sprint.
Yeah.
You think there is such a thing?
Well, I think that there are pigeons that are do well in sprint and they don't do well in long distance.
You may be right, but as far as speed,
Yeah, speed.
that makes them sprint.
Yes.
I don't think there's any difference.
Okay. So you're
no
saying
speed birds?
it just depends
watch
on the
a flock
weather.
of birds coming home.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's half of them sprint birds that you call sprint birds, and
Yeah.
half of them that you call regular distance pigeons.
Yeah.
They all fly the same speed.
Yeah.
So you don't believe that some fly slower than the other birds? Okay.
I've never experienced that.
So
There's
the
some
ones that
birds
are
that-
sprint birds that are winning sprint races, they also can go long distance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Look at the lean boars. You know
Lean
the
boars.
lean boar strain?
Yes.
When it was first being advertised, they were being advertised as sprint short
Uh-huh.
distance birds. And
Yeah.
lean boars in Holland just flew short distance
Yeah.
and had an incredible record.
Uh-huh.
Then the birds, he started selling birds to England and here and everywhere around. And these guys were flying them to 600 miles and winning. Same bloodline, same blood. So
Okay. So in your experience, there is no
there's
such
no
thing.
such thing.
Yeah.
How you condition them. It's how you feed them. That's what makes the difference. In a flock of birds, they'll fly as fast as the slowest bird. That is very true.
Yeah.
I believe it 100%.
Yep.
They won't fly as fast as the fastest bird.
Right.
They'll fly as slow as the slowest
That's
bird
right.
in that flock.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as the distance increases, they'll leave that slow bird behind because it can't keep up, and they've developed a pace.
Yeah.
But at 100, 200 miles, there's no such thing. No
Okay.
such thing. Keep them hungry.
Yeah.
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 Train them real good.
Yeah.
Get them in good condition. Put them in a 100-mile race. Boom, man. They'll.
Yeah.
Keep 'em hungry.
Okay, so that in a couple months, feed them good. Give them some fat.
For the long
Don't
distance.
train them too much. Mate them up. Put them at 600 miles. Boom, they'll come home.
Okay. Yeah.
So there goes your sprint.
There you go.
But those guys that fly sprint races, their birds are sprint races.
They're hungry.
Yeah, they're sprint birds.
They're sprint birds.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
You know,
That
in this
makes
game,
sense.
I tell you guys, don't believe everything you read. It's all BS. It really is all BS.
It's all
You
about
know,
birds.
I've gone to Europe, I don't know how many times, and looking for these special birds.
Yeah.
And you'll walk up to this guy, and you'll say, I came to your loft because you have a very good record flying short distance races. I'd like to buy some sprint birds from you. And they look at you like, are you some kind of an idiot? My birds fly all distances. I like to fly the sprint races because I don't like to wait for the pigeons, or I don't like to fly. It costs too much money to fly long distance, because in Europe it costs a lot of money to fly long distance. He says, I fly short distance. I go down to my club, I ship 20 birds, I have a couple of beers, sometimes I even have dinner, and I come home, and the next morning I fly the race. I'm happy. In Europe, you fly long distance, you got to pay a ton of money.
Yeah.
You go down to the club, it takes forever to ship them. Then you got to wait. Like Barcelona, they ship on a Monday for a Saturday race.
That is true. Yeah.
And that's not just Barcelona. There's a lot of races where they ship early in the week, like nothing we ever do here. And they have to wait for the birds to be released. A lot of guys can't do that. No, I want the fun. I want to fly tomorrow. You know, you find a couple of young birds that have a certain perch.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on those. Those will be good birds. Most of the time, young birds are all over the place.
Yeah.
Like they're here one night, they're here another night. They probably won't amount to much. But the ones that
Stay there.
pick a perch and that's theirs and they'll fight for it, you got to watch those birds. They're good. They're good. Most of the time.
You hear that?
Most of the time.
Got some good tips over here. Cool. So what can you do for this young man over here, Dan? What do you have
Can we
for
see
him?
the birds?